Weekly forecast March 13th to 19th, 2023. Very active week. Hi, I am Aasiya Batool, astrologer, presenting you the weekly forecast commencing on Monday, March the 13th, 2023. It's going to be a very active week astrologically. A lot of stress, a lot of instability. You're going to have to pace yourself and think before reacting. But before I break down what is happening, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. Alright, let's start with Monday, March the 13th. The moon is in Sagittarius. The moon represents the overall emotional tone or public reactions. There aren't any other planetary events. There's going to be powerful events almost every single day, but not on Monday, and so starting the work week with the moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is this optimistic, uplifting, adventurous, it's like starting of the week with a really good positive attitude. On Tuesday, as the moon continues in Sagittarius, it's going to be in a stressful angle to communication Mercury. Now the moon represents emotional reactions, and Mercury represents the rationales. You're having the emotional in conflict with the rational that is happening around early afternoon Pacific's daylight time. This is not a good time for trying to get your point across or a job interview. Now also through that whole day, the Mars, assertive, ambitious Mars, confident Mars, will be in a square conflict to nebulous Neptune. Mars squares Neptune for that whole day. You could just feel that all your drive of the Mars just seems to get dissipated by the Neptune in some rare cases. If something is too good to be true, you're probably being scammed. This could also be Mars is your energy and the Neptune. You could just be feeling weak and tired. Later in the evening around 7:08 p.m. Pacific time, the moon will be in opposition or confrontation with Mars. So there's a lot of irritability, and as I said, that Mars to Neptune, you might be just feeling discouraged. It's not a good day to be going after goals to be, especially with business meetings, job interviews, and the light, but that too shall pass Wednesday. Now the moon is in Capricorn. Capricorn keeps our feet grounded. Capricorn is realistic, it's organized, it's pragmatic energy. It's the business practical side, and on that day with the moon in Capricorn, the sun in Pisces will be shining on Neptune all day. The positive here is that it's lighting up the best of Neptune: compassion, inspiration, charity, healing, which got to be careful, though, is that dreaminess of Neptune. You might get lost in fantasy. You may just want to escape reality. The good news here is, it's mostly going to be favorable for most people because the moon, the emotional tone, is in realistic grounding Capricorn. So therefore the sun Neptune, you're not going to be lost in fantasy and delusions. You can be inspiring others and inspiring and focusing on the vision and the dreams, so that's a good day. Thursday on the 16th, this is one of the roughest days astrologically speaking. You certainly want to really pace yourself, and don't make any really important decisions unless you really have to very quickly. What's happening is discerning Mercury, decision-making Mercury is crossing Neptune once a year. The sun is about every 3 months is going to be forming a hard angle to Mars. Pleasure-seeking relational Venus is going to be forming a hard angle to Pluto, and discerning Mercury, a little bit later in the day, will be throwing a hard angle to Mars. So here you're just one of these triggers. Planetary events could indicate some real stress, impatientness, but you're having four. So let's end, but the moon's in Capricorn, so it's keeping you grounded, or it's keeping you realistic. What you're realizing, perhaps there's too much going on. You need to just have a time out and sleep on it. Think about it, Mercury, when it about making important decisions, or in communications over Neptune, while your mind Mercury could be on the dream, the vision, the creativity, and the positive. But it's often associated, particularly with all these four stressful energies, then your decision-making faculty of the Mercury could be very foggy and unclear with the Neptune, so you won't be as quick and as sharp, and the Sun will be throwing a hard angle to Mars. Well, that's the fighter, but it might also incline you to be impulsive to make rash decisions. And that could also be with the Mercury-Neptune, you're not thinking realistically. And then Venus is in a hard angle to Pluto. Now Venus could be the arts, could be money, it's usually relationships, but in all those categories with Pluto-Venus in hard eagle to Pluto, there could be these intense power struggles with a personal relationship. You might also have this struggle with money, you may be struggling creatively, and with a relationship you could be having a secret, you could be keeping a secret, you could be discovering it a secret, and then the Mercury-Neptune, you're all confused what is going on, and the Sun-Mars, you're feeling really anxious, and then more towards the end of the day, well, from maybe late afternoon into the end of the day Pacific time. Now Mercury is in a hard angle to Mars. Now the Sun was in hard angle to the Mars for the whole day. So that Mars is all that fiery and patient energies, so you're more prone to reacting. So if you have to deal with important matters, you want to keep breathing, centering yourself. This could be a really good day to meditate before you start the day and exercise. Mars is the warrior planet to just calm the body, calm the mind. Maybe everything in the world exciting is happening, but you're having to make all these sudden decisions. Friday it starts to calm down because now the Sun is aligned with Mercury, discerning rational Mercury. So now after all that craziness where everything is hitting you all at once on Thursday, on Friday with the Sun with Mercury, there's more clarity of thinking in Venus, whether that's real love, relationships, money. Venus will now be in harmony with Saturn. On Thursday Venus was struggling with dark, compulsive, manipulative Pluto, but now a secretive Pluto. But now on Friday the Venus is in harmony with Saturn. So when it comes to relationships, you can start realistically getting on the same page, repairing wherever you are feeling overwhelmed, with getting more grounded and centered in your relationships, with Venus representing money. Saturn is business and security. So that's also along with the clarity of mind with the Sun, Mercury, the Venus, Saturn. You could start to feel more grounded, more steady in your personal relationships, but also your financial responsibilities. And as I didn't mention on Friday, everything is just starting to center and calm down. The moon will be in Aquarius. Aquarius is more detached, more impersonal, so you're being less emotionally reactive with the moon in Aquarius, but a moon in Aquarius is more inclined to look to the future, to be more progressive, more innovative, more original thinking, so that really is also very favorable energies to support that Sun and Venus on Friday. On Saturday the moon continues in Aquarius, innovative, quirky, friendly Aquarius, but now Mercury, discerning, rational Mercury, that on Thursday was being triggered by foggy, dreamy, escapist Neptune. Now on Saturday the Mercury will be in harmony with Pluto. Pluto rules the underworld, so this can play out in a number of ways. You could be interested, Mercury, in studying, researching, investigation. Pluto, or therapy, psychology, astrology, that's all under the domain of Pluto. Pluto brings these great insights going really deep, so you could not only have been through counseling, through astrology, perhaps starting to gain more insights. When it comes to conversations, whether it's personal or business meetings, you're going to be able to go deep. But also the Pluto helps you persuade others to your point of view in a gentle way. On Sunday now the moon has entered into sensitive, more emotional Pisces around 9:10 a.m. Pacific time. The moon and Pisces will cross over Saturn. It's recently just moved into Pisces for the first time in nearly 30 years. The moon Saturn could trigger some worrying, some frustrations, just depending on how Saturn, what Saturn is pointing out in your horoscope in your life. Because Saturn is where you have to be realistic, take responsibilities, and that moon, maybe you're overly concerned and worried. But it's happening earlier in the day, it only lasts for an hour or two, and then early afternoon as the moon gets off of that heavy Saturn, now it's going to be harmonious with pleasure seeking. Relational Venus, so early afternoon Pacific time, it's great for getting together with friends and family. Sunday brunch, going to a party. It could be romantic with that Venus energies and can also open you up to being more creative or desiring to go to an art gallery, to go to the theater, to go to a concert and be swept away with creative inspiration. So I want to thank you for watching. Until next week, be safe and well. If you found anything beneficial in this video, then do like and subscribe as it helps me to grow my channel.